Hello, everybody. Welcome to Music Talk Mondays. My name is Eddie Lam. I am your host for this amazing program that we do every week. We are live on TikTok, we are live on Twitch, and we are live on YouTube as well, all under the username EddieLamMusic. So this is a podcast that I do every week where we talk about all things related to artists, your favorite bands, your instruments, songs, albums, soundtracks, pop culture stuff, and so much more. If you are a returning listener, welcome back. It's good to see you guys all again. Now, if you are a first-time listener, first-time viewer, welcome to my podcast. I really appreciate you guys popping by today just to talk about all things related to music. So that's how it works. Now, if you want to follow me on my social media platforms, on my official website, well, I got an official website. Like I said, it's EddieLamMusic.ca. That's my official website. I got TikTok, YouTube, and, of course, Twitch, which I'm broadcasting on right now on all three platforms. I also have Instagram. I also got Facebook and Twitter. So follow me on all those platforms if you want to. I would love to stay in touch with you guys. I think it would be a fun time just to get to know each other and just talk about anything music related. I also got PayPal as well. If you guys have enjoyed all the content I've been posting for these last however long you've been following me, go to paypal.me/EddieLamMusic. That is my PayPal account. You can make a general donation if you want. I also got Patreon. If you guys want me to do some exclusive content, such as doing a video greeting shout out to a friend, relative, or whoever on whatever special occasion it may be, whether it be birthdays, anniversaries, graduations, all that good stuff. I can make a greeting video and, of course, post it on my Patreon page exclusively for Patreon contributors. And, of course, I also accept donations on TikTok live streams. If you're watching me on TikTok right now, thank you guys so much for those who have donated to me previously on all my podcasts. I really appreciate that. So, yeah, and that's pretty much it. So the way the format goes for the first-time viewers, I'm going to be doing my topic discussion first in the first half of the show, and then after that, we'll have open Q&A. Open Q&A from you guys, and it'll be great. I think it'll be awesome just to hear from you, whatever questions you may have, whatever comments you want me to look at, and we can discuss about it from there. Yeah, so there we go. Okay, guys, are you guys ready for today's topic? Here we go. So it was the Grammys weekend last week, and I was looking back at the Grammys of all the controversy that's out there, and I'm not gonna lie to you. Sometimes I can be a little bit of a sucker for controversy when there's conflict happening, or it's embarrassing, but sometimes I get this little interest in this kind of stuff. But here's one thing I would say that really caught my interest to really make me want to talk about this was I saw this video clip. I think it was during the Grammys. I think it was some sort of award of some kind, or whatever it is. But I saw this video clip of Nicki Minaj and Cardi B, two female rappers. They were fighting. They were getting to this huge physical confrontation at this venue where they were having this music award thing. I believe it's the Grammys. I'm not too sure what it is. I'll check that again later on. But regardless, Cardi B and Nicki Minaj were going into a physical confrontation, and it looked pretty nasty. I'll just say. Let's just say I don't want to be there. If anything, I'll just watch it from a distance. But I would not want to get involved at all, nor would I want to be in the middle of it, obviously, because I don't want to get hurt. But let's see it for how it is. These two just don't like each other, Nicki Minaj and Cardi B. And we all know that even when you look at Nicki Minaj, she's got a bit of a history of butting heads with people. I mean, you saw what happened back in American Idol a few years ago when she and Mariah Carey were butting heads. Actually, it was Nicki Minaj, Mariah Carey, and Randy Jackson butting heads with each other. So, I thought it was it was very interesting. I mean, what happened was, if you guys remember what happened in American Idol, if I recall, hopefully I get the facts straight here. So there was so during the audition, this one singer, she was singing, and the judges liked her, and they asked her all these different questions, right? And what do you want to do? And they would say like, oh, I think you're fit for country. And then the girl said, honestly, I did a whole country thing, and I really want to do something different. And Nicki Minaj supports that decision, but of course, the other folks did not take too kind to that girl's comment about the whole when she said country thing, making it as if country did not matter. But Nicki Minaj was making a good point. I'm not going to take any science, but I am going to say she brought up a good point when she says, you guys should just give people like her a bit more freedom, and honestly, just let her do her thing, whatever she feels is best for her. And you can't just be molding people, and you can't be telling them that they should be doing this and doing that. And Nicki Minaj brought up a good point, but of course, there's disagreements from Mariah Carey and Randy Jackson, and so it gets into this mega argument, and this poor auditioneer from American Idol was caught in the middle of it too. She had to witness all this go down. Again, it's hard to say if this is fake or not. I'm gonna say it's fake, but assuming if this was real though, I'll put it this way. This is something I would not want to display out in the public. The reason why is because, I mean, you already saw the face of the auditioneer, the singer, that at that episode of American Idol where Nicki Minaj was butting heads with Randy Jackson and Mariah Carey, and it's just embarrassing. You're seeing these celebrities that you've looked up to, and you see them just screaming at each other, basically talking over each other, maybe calling each other names. So it's quite an interesting disaster to see go downhill. But I think where I'm going with this is the fact that you have these people just fighting each other constantly, and sometimes it's you almost have to be very careful when something is driving you, when something is grinding your gears. I mean, it is okay to express your anger. It is okay to express your frustrations, but to do it out in public, you gotta be very, very careful. In my personal opinion, I think this is where my topic. This leads to what my topic is going to be today. Is, can we do less headbutting and more community building? So this is what we want to talk about today, is how can we in the music scene do less headbutting and more community building? So let's go back to that, right? Nicki Minaj versus Cardi B, Nicki Minaj versus Mariah Carey and Randy Jackson. And it's so crazy because we're looking at these public figures. They're in the mainstream part of the industry, basically. These are like big time tycoons who are always on front pages of magazines, newspapers, if you guys still read newspapers, or any other music related article, entertainment article. And and when you see these things happen constantly, it's you always have to wonder to yourself, do these people actually really think about how the public is seeing them? Maybe they're aware of it. Some do feel like, well, I honestly don't care what other people think. I'm going to act however I want and just go from there. So that's them. I guess for me personally, I want to be a little bit more conscious about it. I find that if I ever find myself in any kind of conflict with other people in a music scene, I honestly I prefer to much keep that kind of stuff private, to be honest with you. Mind you, though, I feel like at the same time, if somebody has done something wrong that could affect a huge pile of people in the community, and it could jeopardize people. It could put people in danger. I think, of course, we have every right to make a call out, to call these people out, to confront them, and warn people that this person is a huge red flag in the music scene, and it's going to be a huge danger to musicians and music fans alike. So, what I feel when it comes to these kind of things, when it comes to having a conflict with somebody, that when you have a problem with somebody, if I had to confront somebody for whatever reason, I'd rather do it privately. Just because I just don't feel like it's necessary for people to really air their dirty laundry out in public. You know what I mean? Like that's just me, but that's one of the things I would. That's one of my things I would do. So I'm just looking at some comments here on TikTok. IDK Hello 27 says, "I'm sorry, but we should not cancel anybody and let them just continue." Well, that's an interesting point, actually. IDK Hello 27 on TikTok. I know that. I guess that's one of the things that I've been trying to learn too, is that if someone actually has done something that's quite foolish or whatever like that, just let them be foolish, because then because in the end they're just going to make themselves look stupid out in public anyways, right? And they have to they'll have to kind of learn the hard way, I guess. Which is again, interesting point. IDK Hello 27 on TikTok. Thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, I guess like sometimes like some people won't. I mean, you can always tell people that what you're doing is terrible. You gotta start changing your way. You gotta get your act straight, or else you're going to wind up a miserable person. And sometimes people do refuse to listen, and then what do? They'll pay the price for it somehow eventually. And meanwhile, the rest of us are trying to move on and actually try to do better. But yeah. But just going back to that whole thing with when I was watching that video of Cardi B and Nicki Minaj fighting each other. It was like watching a high school fight, basically. It does. But and I had to remind myself, these people are still young, and they're still trying to mature, and I guess like and they're still trying to. I guess they are still trying to figure out their life, if that's a possibility. I mean, of course, I'm no psychologist, just for the record, but. Just from what I'm seeing, I mean, if I was in that kind of situation, honestly, if I was in a situation where if someone did catch me arguing with somebody and then I got into a little scrap with them, I mean, I guess PR 101, the most important thing is to own up to it. And, this leads to that point, too, of what I would say. It would be like, what I did, just, of course, you have to really seriously look at yourself and think back, and is like, can you do better from this? So I would actually own up to it and just say, look, guys, I've lost my temper. This person has pissed me off. Even though that person has pissed me off, it was no right for me to get into the scrap on this person, and I should have just leave them alone in the first place and just avoid this whole thing. But of course, then you just apologize and say, hey, look, I'm really sorry for what I've done, blah, 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 blah. Let's all move on and try to do better from it, rise above hate. I'm John Cena-ing it a little bit. But I find that because like, you gotta think of it this way: when you're a public figure, it's not just your adult fans that are watching you. There are children that might be exposed to you too. And I always find that whenever I do see someone like any celebrities like Nicki Minaj or Cardi B, or even Chad Kroeger from Nickelback, or think of any other celebrity you can think of that comes to mind, when you see them get into such a interesting physical scrap against somebody, it's like you're watching an older version of children misbehaving. But I always have to, I guess for me, I'm always so conscious about my behavior. I always have to think in the back of my head, there may be some kids watching, and because I always felt that if a kid saw this, they're gonna think it's okay to act like this, and I really have to consider that because you know I I I find that it's going to be quite a because like when you set such a if you set a bad example to people, it's going to influence them, unfortunately, and I think it's fair enough to say that if we're actually just going to be just butting heads all the time and not find a way to solve this, then it's just going to create that cycle of hate. It's going to create that cycle of negativity. It's going to create a cycle of of being selfish, basically. So anyways, I just want to put that out there. So in terms of community building, let's put it this way. What can we learn from this? What can we learn from this? I feel like it, for us, how can we do better from these celebrities that butt heads with each other? I honestly think we should be setting a better example. We need to start. We need to start really finding more of the good qualities of artists, other fellow musicians, rather than wasting our time knocking down musicians who we don't like. I think that's one example. I think that's one step. One of many methods I think we should do to build a community in our music scene. If not, and I'm not talking about the celebrities, but even just us locals. How can we learn from this, right? I think we can rise above this. I think we are better than what we've seen on television. So first of all, yeah, I think less knocking down on musicians that we don't like, and let's build those who we do support, and even try to like really get to know these musicians, but don't judge them harshly just by glancing at them. Even really get to know them. Really try to get a time to introduce yourself, figure them out, and everything like that. And I really feel like saying that, oh, that band sucks on stage, don't go to their show. You can say that. We do have every right to express an opinion when we say, this band could do better on stage. I think it's okay to give constructive criticism, honestly, because I think it does give we want to, when we do give constructive criticism, and actually sit down with our fellow local musicians on how they can get better live on stage, it'll be more encouraging, and you see them develop much more. You can see them blossom to become much better musicians, much better bands on stage, and they become more enjoyable. Every musician has started from somewhere, even if they started off as hot garbage. Sometimes you do see ones that do get better, and they actually become one of the greatest stars of all time. True story. It's happened. So that's one of my things I say is, just try to being more encouraging can always help. But I say, surround yourself more with musicians who you really want to be with, and who you want to really support all the way. I'm not saying go to some crap I'm not saying go to some band's show that you don't like and just try to be nice. If it's not your cup of tea, it's not your cup. Then honestly, it's better to just not be there than to be a dead horse, right? But I feel like the most important thing when it comes to being more of a community builder is be around with the part of the music scene that you truly feel like you fit in well with, and just be more. Just give your 100% in support. Contribute as much as you can to help these people. Whether you're a fan or musician, I think just keep supporting yourself. Surround yourself with musicians that you truly want to support, with fans that you truly want to be with. Because if you keep surrounding yourself all the time with musicians and music fans who grind your gears constantly, there's no point. There's no point. So, anyways, what else can I say about this? Honestly, I really want to be this to be more of a casual conversation today with you guys, and I feel this is more relaxed and less. I want it to be less structured. And then another fun example I remember I've read before in the past was back in 2007. I think it was 2007. Chad Kroeger from Nickelback got into a scrap with somebody here in my hometown of Vancouver, Canada. So he was at this bar called the Roxy, if I've heard the story right. He was at the Roxy Club in downtown Vancouver, and he got into a fight with this random guy. So the fight started off in the bar area, and then it carried out onto outside in the middle of Granville Street in downtown. Cops came, and what did they do? They arrest Chad right away and took him in. So it's I know like that Chad Kroeger was constantly known for butting heads with people, getting into fights and all that, and I it's really hard to say. What can we learn? I mean, I guess I can obviously say what can we learn from this. Well, we can be the opposite of that, right? How could we handle this when someone tries to grind our gear? If someone does grind our gears and irritate us, I always find that, as Michael Jackson says, just beat it. Just walk away. Just walk away now, or else things will get worse. And I find that is a very wise decision to make. Sometimes it is better to just run off from a situation, or else if it gets worse, you're gonna lose your temper, and you're gonna you're gonna do something stupid and all that, right? So yeah, and so that's why, it goes back to what I was saying earlier on my first point. And I think the earlier point I was making is that surround yourself with more supportive people who that you can enjoy being with, and that way you're in a more positive environment. And because you got to think about your mental health as well, right? And I think what pays a huge contribution to your mental state is when you're around with the people you love the most. It does help. It does make a huge difference, guys. So I think when it comes to community building too, in our local music scene, I feel like to really truly support other musicians, you really sometimes it is all about taking that little extra step. If there is, let's just say, I mean, yeah, it's good that we promote our own stuff as well. We promote our own music, we promote our own bands that we play in, but I always feel sometimes like there's not enough support. At least in my town, I really feel like even though we have such a huge variety of talent, we could always do a better job in getting ourselves out. Not only getting ourselves out there, but try to get the other bands out there as well. And that means taking that extra step to actually talk about the band, this other band in your town. And if you truly like them, I'd say go for it. Promote the heck out of them if you can. Be their advocate. I always say that. If you're a fan of someone's music in your local scene, don't just be their fan, be their advocate as well. And really go out there and just tell people why you love their music so much, what songs that they should recommend. It makes a huge world of difference. And I think that's what can be more encouraging and can build your scene a lot more. And just do nice things for them too if you can. Not it doesn't have to be all the time, but just be very kind to them because you want to be kind to them, and not because you're looking for not because you want to benefit from something from them. But I'd say do more of that kind of thing where you want to buy their merch. So buy their merch. You want to come to their shows, and you actually want to pay admission for it. I feel, of course, if they offer you the guest list, of course, that's all good. By all means, go for it. But, I feel like it to even support the musicians too and be more encouraging. I say go for it, pay the admission, and because it's gonna go towards the musicians who've worked so hard rehearsing, writing their material, and all that. So it's really, really important, guys. You gotta be there for one another. Um, what else can I say about this? Like I said, this is more of a very casual conversation today. I'm sure I will touch more about this in a later podcast down the future. But yeah, I just want to see how it goes with just casually talking to you guys about this kind of topic. I know we face this quite often in our music scene about how there's always constant feuds happening. There's always people not like each other. There's gossip. There's physical confrontations, which can turn ugly and which can lead to injuries or things worse than that. And we don't need that, honestly, folks. We don't really need that kind of negativity in our music scene. And we can set a better example, is what I'm saying. We can set a much better example. We don't have to, and don't forget, folks, celebrities are human as well. They're not. I mean, it is good for us if you guys want to be a good role model towards music, your followers, to your fans. By all means, I say go for it for sure. But don't forget, it's not just about being perfect. It's never about being the most perfect person in the world. Part of it, if you're an influencer, if you're a rock star of some kind, I feel like I honestly truly believe that part of it is being responsible. And when I say being responsible, go back to what I was saying. If you were reported about on the news about you getting into a physical scrap with somebody, or you made a big, terrible mistake, you made a terrible decision about something, and people are angry with you about it, I say just own up to it. Or at least give an explanation of something. People, you have every right to state your case. But I feel like if you have done something that you truly feel like this was wrong, this was something that you should not have done, you should not have, maybe swore at that person in the concert, or you should not have punched that other celebrity in the head or something like that. Honestly, guys, the only thing you can do is own up to it. Own up to it and move on, but also do better. Be on your better behavior for next time. Not always try to do better every time, and just learn and try to grow and mature more. So I think that's part of it. I know everyone always often say, oh, you gotta look perfect in a certain way. Well, that's not true. Actually, being perfect should never be the case. It's because we're all gonna make mistakes. As Hannah Montana says, everybody makes mistakes. Yes, I just quote Hannah Montana. Sue me. No, just kidding. Anyways, but that it's very true. I feel like when you make a mistake, you own up to it and apologize, truly apologize, and just do better. And and like I said, we are gonna make mistakes down the road, but it's just knowing how to handle them, basically. Because oftentimes, if people don't own up to the crazy things they do, the things that they regret doing, because what's going to happen if they feel like what they did was okay? Well, I guess it depends on the situation. But if they all they do is get incredibly defensive every time, they're not going to learn from this, and then they're not going to grow, and then they just wind up being immature children, unfortunately. I go back to the whole Nicki Minaj thing. Here she is, even though she makes good points about the whole American Idol thing against Mariah Carey and Randy Jackson, for that auditioneer, I still think this could be a much better private conversation than airing your dirty laundry. If anything, I think any beef you have with somebody, it needs to be settled privately, quite honestly. And you have to emphasize that we want to settle this feud privately because it's not necessary to drag the whole fan base into this. It's not necessary to drag the whole media into this. I know the media loves the scoop. That would be the scoop, saying that so-and-so is butting heads with so-and-so. But quite honestly, if we make that habit of asking that people respect our privacy, to resolve a conflict that we have with, say, another celebrity, for example, or a fellow bandmate even, then people will learn that, oh, if I ever get into a feud or a confrontation with somebody, I know that this is better to be resolved privately than just air it out in public when it's not necessary. And sometimes you see this kind of stuff between bandmates as well, right? I mean, you've seen James Hetfield argue with Lars Ulrich, obviously, from the Some Kind of Monster documentary, and you see, and of course we all know about Sting and the Police. That whole feud right there. That's quite the interesting feud itself. I say look into it if you guys can. But what I'm saying is that, of all these different conflicts you see, we learn from it. Learn how we could be the opposite of what happened. Learn how, and if you do make a mistake like that, learn how to be better from it. That's all I'm saying. I find that when we get into so much of these different conflicts, I think this is something we should be practicing more often. Honestly, we should be practicing on conflict resolution. To understand people where they're coming from, especially if someone was mad at us or if we've been upset at somebody, regardless which side they're on. I think it's really important to have that mentality of sitting down and really express where both parties are coming from. That way, we know how we can solve the problem. So I think the ultimate way to solve headbutting, to solve conflicts and start building more of a community, is to honestly just talk it out. I think talk it out is always going to be the main key to fix any conflict in general, especially in the music industry. I find that it goes back to my topic. It's less headbutting, more community building. We need to sort things out in a very mature way. No selfish agenda. No, we're not here to slag on somebody. We're here to really make something work. And I really feel like our music scene is a very beautiful scene, especially our local scene as well. Maybe it's the celebrity part of the celebrity mainstream part of the music scene might be a huge mess, but we as locals, we can do better. And I really feel like we have the power to do better. And I feel like we have the absolute influence on people around us to make our local music scene a very beautiful experience. And a beautiful experience that will make people feel more welcome and be more responsible. I think that's pretty much all I can say about this today. I found that this was just an interesting topic to talk about. Again, this is like no structural talk that I usually do here. I just wanted it to just be a very casual conversation, whatever came to mind at first. So my apologies to you folks if you felt like this was a little bit different, but I really just wanted to have more of this casual conversation with you guys about my thoughts on headbutting, conflicts, feuds in the music scene, and how we can overcome it as a community. Hopefully this helps you guys. Again, I want to hear your guys' thoughts as well in the comments section. So whether you're on Twitch, YouTube, or TikTok, I know some folks on TikTok have already expressed their thoughts, so thank you. Type in your thoughts as well. Tell me your stories if you want to. Tell me your stories about some conflicts that you've run into in the music scene. Maybe we can talk about that if you want. If you don't mind airing your dirty laundry, no worries. It's no pressure, of course. But I would love to hear from you guys and see what you guys have to say. So, all right. So that part is out of the way. So that was our topic. I'm sure I'm gonna touch more bases on this again in future podcasts. So don't be surprised if I talk more about this. I'll probably find some other feuds as examples and just specifically talk about them and learning how we can what we can learn from that kind of feud. But in the meantime, guys, it's open Q&A from you, the audience, the viewers, the listeners. I want to hear from you guys. Anything you want to ask me, go for it. And then I'm going to start with TikTok first. I know we had some eager questions. So IDK Hello 27 on TikTok says, "Who is your favorite artist?" Well, right now, folks, I mean, for artists today, I really do enjoy The Weeknd. He's got a great way to make his stuff sound so 80s, and I really admire that. Because one of the things I'm going to be doing in the future down the road, like hopefully not in a not too distant future, I'm going to try to experiment composing something that has an 80s sound to it. Just because I never got a chance to really do that. And now for the greatest artists of all time, of course, Nirvana, Kurt Cobain, obviously, David Grohl, both him in both Nirvana and Foo Fighters. So David Grohl is amazing. I was listening to lots of Metallica, of course. So you can talk to me about all the albums that I have, from Kill 'Em All to Hardwired. I have all those albums in between. The ones I don't have Garage Incorporated. That's probably the only one I do not have. IDK Hello is asking, what about Ed Sheeran? I'm not like an Ed Sheeran fan, but like I know how to play some of his songs, actually, like his hits. I actually got I did a tutorial on my TikTok channel on how to play Shape of You on acoustic guitar in just under 1 minute. So feel free to go to my TikTok channel, guys, and look up my tutorials on how to play stuff on acoustic guitar. You'll find a lot of really helpful ones out there for you. So stay tuned. There will be more tutorials coming soon as well. And thank you guys for your support, by the way. I just wanted to let you guys know about that. Your support really means a lot. So of course, what else is there? Like I think I've mentioned in the past, like when it comes to, I enjoy pop punk music as well. So it'd be Blink-182, Sum 41. For more modern bands, it would be like All Time Low. It would be, what else is there? Well, actually, let me go back to old school again too. Newfound Glory is another good old school one of mine. Simple Plan, that's very old school as well. But I'm also starting to get I'm starting to become a little bit of a sucker for water parks, because I got some friends that love water parks to death. Like Austin Knight is a very talented guy, so so when I listen to Not Warriors by Water Parks, I'm actually really enjoying it. So if you guys follow me on Instagram, you'll hear me using that music in the background for my story post, and so it is a good song. It's really catchy. Yeah. Hello, Jimmy on TikTok. Thanks for tuning in. As usual, my friend, we have approached the Q&A portion of it for those who just joined in. So Q&A. Feel free to ask me any questions or add any comments that you want to put. You want to input. Our topic today was about headbutting in the music scene. We just talk about how we could, how can we do better from it. And again, it was just a casual conversation. So I've rambled on a lot all day about this, all night about this. So I was just saying whatever comes to mind. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Again, like I said, tell me about a time you had gone into a conflict with somebody in the music scene. Probably within your own bandmates, probably within another band. You had a feud with another band, with another artist. You had a falling out. How did you guys deal with that? I want to hear your guys' thoughts on that. Let me know. Actually, I should make a nice little announcement too. So last time I did a nice little post on. Sorry. I'm gonna go back to the comments here. IDK Hello 27 on TikTok says, I have a conflict with myself. I can't make any music. Oh man. Well, I tell you, sometimes like songwriting is it's a tough deal, because I feel like you yourself are the worst critic, right? Like, you could have a hard ass bandmate or that hard ass manager that is trying to push you to become a different kind of musician, to push to do better, push to greatness. But then in the end, even though they may be harsh critics, you yourself are your own worst critic. But I find that one of the things I feel like that can help to overcome that, at least for me, is knowing that you can play whatever you can, publish whatever you feel you feel the need to publish. But if you feel like, oh, I should have done this and should have done that, there's two options. Two options, actually. Number one, you can just say to yourself, well, you know what? The next song I write, it's going to get better. And I'll try to do better than that. I'll try to do something different. So there's one. Number two, you can also think of it this way. Well, if I feel like I should have done this and should have done that for the song in the recording, I'll do it the way I really, truly want it to be live on my live shows. Well, at least that way there's a next time of some kind. Yeah, so IDK Hello 27 says, the perfection is on some new level. You know, there are artists out there who are mega perfectionists. I would say I'm not really quite a perfectionist. I'm more of the, that actually sounds pretty cool. Let's just put it out there on the recording and see how it sounds. And if I feel like I can add on a little bit of it, if I have enough time to do that, I will. So I do lots of home recording at home. Yeah, so yeah, what am I saying? Yeah, I do lots of home recording where I live. Yeah, because sometimes I feel like when I'm recording vocals, I always feel like, oh, okay, I'll just have to do a few takes just to make sure it sounds good and solid, right? But I try really hard to keep in mind of deadlines, because I'm a very deadline-driven kind of person as well. If I do feel like I need a bit more time on something to be released when it comes to recording music, then of course I'll give myself a little bit more time if it's for a really good reason. Other than that, I always try my best to keep in mind of the deadlines, but also still try to make I put myself in a schedule where I have enough time to really record the vocals and make sure they're good to go. Same thing with my piano parts, guitar parts, bass parts, etc., etc., etc. So yeah, awesome. Well, and let me know if you guys have any other comments or questions. I would love to hear from you guys. Again, thank you guys for tuning in, by the way. You guys have been so awesome. You've been patient. For those who've been following me for quite some time, thank you guys for just being such amazing listeners, viewers, followers of every kind on all my platforms. It really means a lot. I seriously mean it when I say that. It means a lot. You guys have been amazing people. All right. So I'm just going to, let's see what else. I was going to make that little note to you guys. So I made a post a while back on my TikTok saying that if you type in that in the search bar, search engine in TikTok and type in hashtag EddieLamMusic, last time I said I had over 1 million views. Well, get this, guys. If you type in hashtag EddieLamMusic on TikTok in the search engine, I now have over 2 million views. It is insane. I still can't believe I'm saying these words. So, hashtag EddieLamMusic on my TikTok. If you go on, if you type in the hashtag in the search engine of TikTok on the app itself, it'll say that that hashtag has over 2 million views. I'm still shocked about this today. I don't know. I'm again. It's all thanks to you guys. It's all thanks to your guys' responses on this kind of stuff. So I'm glad you guys share my content. I'm really glad you guys spread the word. You engage with me as well in the comments section and just liking it even. You know, it really does make my day every time. It's encouraging, and when I see how many views I get. So you guys have been so awesome. So again, thank you guys so much for supporting my TikTok channel specifically. Without it, I don't know where I'd be today. So there you go. All right, folks. So that is, I guess, I'm going to conclude this podcast today right here. So thank you guys so much for joining into my podcast. I really appreciate this. Again, if you guys have any topics that you want to talk about in my future episodes, please let me know. I would love to hear from you guys. And in terms of my YouTube channel, I'm going to try my best to find a time to record something musical on my YouTube channel, because I know that lately it's been more just about my podcast I do every Monday. But, of course, I want to But I'm really glad you guys do enjoy my podcast, that you guys wanted to sit down with me and just talk about all things related to music. So that's great. But I think we can always have a little taste of more actual music performance from yours truly. So I will do my best on my YouTube channel to create something. Maybe it'd be a cover of a song. We'll see how it goes, but I'll try to make time for that. Hopefully in a not too distant future, folks. Other than that, thank you guys so much. You guys have been such an incredible audience as always. Yeah, but like I said, anything you want me to talk about on my podcast in the future, please let me know. I would love to, I'm open to ideas. I'm open to talking to you guys. I'm open to hearing something that you're curious about, and I will do the best to answer your questions to the best of my abilities. Sounds good? All right. Well, guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in. In the meantime, you guys stay in touch, stay safe, and stay awesome.